Virtual vibe sanity is what we're hoping for.
Hello VR fans, welcome to another weekly edition of Brain Man Virtual Reality Reviews. I'm the Brain Man, and as someone who's got a PhD in neuroscience, I try to help you get more out of your virtual reality experiences. Whether like me, you've got an HTC Vive or a PlayStation VR or Oculus, it doesn't really matter. The principles remain the same in terms of how to trick your brain into truly believing you're in whatever world you're experiencing. And speaking of which, today we're going to go into an experience known as Wizard's Apprentice. Now, I'm quite excited about this kind of game because I read a lot of fantasy, and in those fantasy books, quite often the chieftain, the boss, the king, the queen has a right-hand man or woman who can control the dark side, who has some kind of magical control. So this idea of sorcery, witchery, the wise old people in all of the ancient human tribes had some kind of control over the supernatural. That was the belief, at least. I love that side of fantasy, and the fact that in Wizard's Apprentice you might get the chance to mix up some potions and learn to use them. So on top of the normal sort of fighting stuff, there's the promise that you can do some kind of magical potion, hocus pocus and abracadabra. So that's going to be great fun. So how are you doing anyway? You coping all right with all this ridiculous social isolation? Is it treating you okay? It's funny actually, down here on the banks of the Thames, the number of times I've noticed a stark contrast between when I film down here on the banks of the Thames for real and then when I come into the virtual reality version of it. Because in virtual reality, the water's very flat, it's very still. And I thought, how silly that the people who built this clearly took some kind of shortcut in order to keep it simple, keep it a flat plane, and just have a sort of, lighting effect play across the surface of it to create the illusion of there being water there. But actually, this is what it looks like when there's absolutely no boat traffic going up and down. When there's waves breaking on the shoreline, that's all the boat traffic. And I thought some of it was chop that was sort of winding its way up the River Thames from where it opens out into the sea, but no. This is completely flat. When I come down here, it's just me and the birds. So talk about social isolation. I don't see a soul down here. All the tourists are gone, all the mudlarks are gone. I wave at people from their balconies. I wish them a happy Easter a couple of weeks back. And yeah, it's very, very strange time of life. But anyway, I've been thinking also quite a lot recently about the old. Okay, let's load up the Wizards. What's it? And then I'll tell you. So yeah, this cylindrical selection thing, it's way too small. You can't, because like if it's portrait, the image that the game has available, then it's fine. But if it's landscape only and there's no portrait image available for this particular thing, it's too small to actually see what the hell's going on. You have to sort of peer at it like a grandma, which is pretty rubbish. Like I am struggling to find Waltz of the Wizard. Hang on, I called this Wizard's Apprentice, didn't I? Oh, what an idiot. I wrote it down wrong. Okay, Waltz of the Wizard. Whew. There you go. It just goes to show when you make notes and preparation, all of these are the experiences I'm going to review right through to the end when I finally hit 50. Get in. Okay. So we got hands. We got fireflies, or are they embers flying towards you? You've got the sound of, very realistic sound of frogs and toads and cicadas, crickets. And then a big door in the middle of darkness. And it's very obvious what to do. No confusion, even for me. So it seems that trigger grips and grip does nothing for the time being. So I guess I put my hands out And then we start. Waltz of the Wizard Extended Edition. Touch to open store page. I don't want to go to the store. I want to go in to the Waltz of the Wizards. Now I'd imagine that I go do dip dip do dip dip do dip dip. Where's the waltz? Come on. Okay, so we have a crossbow. Okay, so if you drop things on the floor, you can't pick them up again. That's terrible. So the trigger, you pick things up, release the trigger, and it drops. Pick up, drop. And it's the big button on top, as suggested by this red button, that fires it. It's using the trackpad as a button. Kapow! Oh! I was not expecting that to happen. Whoa, what have I done to time? Okay, that's good. Right, before we get stuck into this, this is going to be fun. Oh, what did I do? I thought I might have opened a gateway. Before we get stuck into all of this wondrous stuff, I'm just going to very quickly run you through my top 5. So, number 1, make sure you have water to hand. Virtual reality is thirsty business. I know it sounds basic. I know it sounds simple. But if you have it to hand, you break the immersion for seconds to have a swig of water. Not for minutes. If you have to take everything off, go to the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. For the same reason, have a cup of tea to hand. Tea is extremely good for you. Don't drink any kind of tea or coffee after sort of 3, 4 p.m. or it'll ruin your sleep. Tea also sparks you up in between levels. Number 3, clear out the space. Actually bother to clear out as much space as you can and then move around in that space. If your rig allows you to do that, if your rig encourages you to do that, do it. It doesn't just make the VR experience a little bit better. It's not additive. It's multiplicative. It makes it a hell of a lot better if you have the sights, the sounds, and it's your movements in space that are causing predictable changes to the visual and auditory world that your brain can anticipate. And if your brain's caused some of that stuff, then it really feels like you're there. Number 4, get as much of your skin on show as is appropriate because you want to be sweating from the skin of your limbs, ideally, anywhere but your forehead because it will steam up your lenses. And finally, virtual reality is so good. It's only just got going in terms of what it's going to provide for humanity. Because it's got the potential to be incredibly addictive, I beg you, just think about how much is too much. Don't overdo it. I personally go for half an hour every day or an hour every other day because as a neuroscientist, I know that if flat screen gaming, pancake gaming is incredibly addictive, then internet gaming disorder is a thing. Then if you put people in VR versions of those games, or even better, it's going to be intoxicating. It's going to be impossible to control. So you've got to get in the habit of limiting yourself early doors. All right, let's get on that waltz. So, first impressions are, I love that there's lots of things to play with, lots of interesting objects, which you can get to know. There's a spell of magnetization that we're going to be getting involved in. Presumably this is your cauldron where you mix things up. Here are your ingredients. Straight away, I'm thinking voodoo doll. If you've got to punish an aggressor, then stick some pins in that. You've got a trumpet. So there's this sort of discovery. It's already encouraging me to get down and have a good old look around and see what's going on. Which, as I said before, is phenomenal if you want to... Oh, okay, it's gone. Oh, I caught it. Wow. This is really the real deal when it comes to a proper VR experience. Like, give the person the possibility to move around. Now, oh, yes, okay, so with the right button, I can move forwards and backwards. So I can go and explore the room. Perfect music for anything to do with magic. Where's that music coming from? Okay, I don't want to look at that because that's going to spoil what's going to happen later. Okay, wow. Might have to get a bit brutal later. Let's see how good I am with dealing with moving objects. Oh, not bad, but not good wizardry. Okay, so the top of either of the trackpads with a Vive allows you to go forwards, and then presumably you turn your head. Oh no. You turn your body to change the direction that you move in. Okay. And then backwards is backwards, forwards, forwards. Sideways. Okay. So the right side of the motion trackpad, the trackpad in the middle, big button. The right side is twitch right, blink right, move 45 degrees to the right. Forwards is move forwards, backwards is move backwards, left is twitch left. Whoa, that's quite scary. This guy's breathing on me. Oh, only in the extended edition. Stop breathing in my ear. Okay, so this is the sound when you come to this side of the room. Breathing soldier. Over here you get the Fantasia music. What's that? Rat? Okay, so stroking the rat causes the rat music. Over here, looking at that, gaze-activated music, which carries on whilst you're looking around in the general area. Ah, that's where it's coming from. Getting quieter and quieter. Mirror, mirror on the wall, not tall enough to be seen. Okay. Let's see what you see. What happens if you look up here? Well, that's a missed opportunity. You can see the stars better if you don't look through the tube. So here's a sickle, could come in useful later. Here's a potion, in the extended edition only. Okay, so where it all ends, nobody knows. Can you control things at a distance? Ooh, there's a bee. Or a wasp. Okay, so let's get cracking on the spells. So what have we got here? This.
Mandrake root.
Mandrake root. Oh, you're going to teach me. Okay. Ruby? You're not going to tell me? Okay, whatever. What is this?
An emerald from the hidden valleys of Umbria.
Ooh, what about this?
A ruby from the deepest caves of Albion.
It is a ruby. Okay, where's the hexagonal shaped thing? Whoa, why is there an eyeball on the floor? Not being able to pick things up off the floor is an absolute pet hate of mine, but I don't know. I'm impressed enough so far not to worry too much. Ah. Okay, so this is how I know what sounds to play. Presumably that'll open a portal, so I'll try that later. This, we haven't got to the bottom of yet. This, whoa, nice. What's going on? Oh! Wow! I was not expecting that. Oh no! Oh. Okay. Oh shit, I chopped up my emerald. Why does this keep happening? Ah, that's why. So yeah, I've been having a think about this being tethered thing. A lot of my mates now have got Oculus. They basically got the Oculus where you don't have to plug it in. Quest? Yeah, Oculus Quest. And every time I say, hey, do you want to pop into VR chat or whatever, they always have, oh shit, no, I have to charge it up. Sorry, I have to charge it up. I forgot that the great thing about Vive is you never have to deal with those kind of ridiculous, sort of stupid logistical errors that you make. Can you get inside there? You know, and like your fun is ruined by the fact that you haven't charged the battery. That never happens in the Vive. Oh my God! You can just draw wherever you want. So I can count things off. Oh no, I can't. Can I draw on the? Oh, the chalk's almost gone. Oh dear. Oh, so this stuff is trying to make you buy new stuff. Only an extended. What's this?
A serpent's venom.
A serpent's venom.
Blood from a kraken.
Blood from a kraken. Serpent's venom, blood from a kraken. Oh shit. Huh. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Okay, well let's get stuck in. What have we got here then? C G C T G C. That's easy. Oh, did I fail? No. Uh-oh. Here we are. Let's go. Let's get going. Oh. How do I put this in my pocket? Wow, that's a long way down. Well, that's broken. I can't go that way. Locomotion. Telepath. Okay. I don't understand. Nothing's moving. Why? It's very strange. Why couldn't I move when I was there? What's trying to grab my attention? Waltz of the Wizard, extended edition. I guess, do I just start mixing things up? Whoa.
Imagination stirs the minds, its potential endless.
Wow.
Unleash it through your fingertips. The whole world is your canvas.
Aha. Double star. That was fun. Let's see what happens when you put the ruby and this and the emerald in.
Nice try. You seem distracted, Master. There are 3 types of ingredients. Use one of each.
Use one of each. Oh, right. So one of those, one of those, one of those.
Why are you using 2 ingredients of the same kind? Try another
The
time.
puppeteer. Who? Puppeteer? What do I do with this?
Grab an object.
Okay. Grab an object. Oh. Right. Now what? Huh? Don't quite understand. Strange. I don't like this new locomotion style. It's annoying. Okay, I'm bored of that now. Just gonna F-A-E-G E-G C2 G-C.
What darkness waits beyond
Oh.
the portals? Only time can tell.
Okay. Uh-oh. It's time to fight, clearly. So... So you have to... Right? Uh-oh, I've got the puppeteer spell going on, which I don't understand. Oh, I'm scared. I don't know how to control these. Oh. Why can't I move? Well, this is a bit rubbish. Okay. Strange that I can move when I'm in here just fine. But I can't move. Oh dear, I'm picking things up. Oh, you can see into the world. Oh no. Why am I picking things up without really knowing what I'm doing? Let's see if I can make another. Troll mode. What's troll mode? Am I a troll now?
What darkness waits beyond the portals? Only time can tell. A single touch from puny mortals leads to bliss or living hell.
Oh, I thought this was going to be back outside. Like as in the direction, the way I came in. But it's not. Yes, that looks like a pretty good weapon. God, I don't like the way you... I don't like the way you reached out for my neck like that. It's scary. Ooh, danger. What have we got here? A goblet. Wish you could put these in your knapsack. No, you just fell on the floor. Oh. Can I go through here? No. Been down there. Been. So I dropped this. I keep dropping this by hitting trigger rather than firing is the top button. You see, there's no death in this game. That guy's just gone to sleep. Only the arm swinger shall pass. Oop. Ah, run! Oh! It got me. I shouldn't have turned around and looked. Okay. Ugh. Oh. Okay, well, it's clearly not the time to be here yet. Okay, so I've been down there. Yeah, this is where I got caught by that machine, right? You gotta go fast. Ooh, who was that? See, I was quicker this time. Whoa, that's what got me last time. As always, oh, you're such an idiot. Your instinct is, of course, to pull the trigger when you try and shoot a crossbow bolt at someone coming to attack you. And if you do that, you drop the crossbow. I think that's a poor decision on their part. Shooting with the thumb button's weird, because so many other experiences make you, like, well, earlier on you were moving with the analog button, the big trackpad button in the middle. So suddenly it changes when you've got a weapon in your hand. I don't think it's very innate. It's not very intuitive. Okay, so this game, I think I've seen enough of this game to get a taste for it. What do you think? Okay, maybe if I hold it in my right hand, I'll be able to remember which hand to hit it with. Okay. So keep your finger, I'm going to keep my finger completely away from the trigger button. Only with my thumb on the trackpad button at the top. Okay, 2 shots and he's toast. It's really easy to kill them if you actually do the right thing. Which is good because I don't like it when they get close to me. Oh. Poison. Now I'm sure it's possible to put stuff in your knapsack. Oh, look at that horrible dude. The ginger skeleton. Okay, we've got a boss. Whoa, where did his head go? Where did his head go? What? See you later. Oh, well, that's quite a feeling of triumph now that I come up here to the top. Off you go. Cheerio. Oh, it's good being able to see. Oh, there's some other chap. Oh, hang on. Is this going to beam me over to him? In which case, I need to get rid of him in advance. Oh, not bad for a first shot. Yes! His head fell off too. Great. Oh, there. Okay, I didn't realise. So from this vantage point, so now I can see how I get to the other bits. I've connected this one to the central zone, and then I've got to do the same with that one, and I've got to do the same with that one, and then presumably it'll power this. Yes! Finally, this game feels like it's making sense, which is why it's a perfect time to go back home. So let's have a little chiddity chat about this down at the beach. Let's go fast forward. So let's find out if I get done by the police for being out during a period of social isolation. So, Wizard's Apprentice, not. It's called Waltz of the Wizards, stupid me. And I was quite excited by the prospect of it mixing up sort of sorcery with battle. It took a little bit of a while to get used to because they're really trying to sort of upsell all of the add-ons and extras, and it gets a bit confusing as to what in that original Sorcerer's Bench you can actually interact with and what you can't. You know, some of it's teasing you for the future. They're trying to make more money out of it, but given that I bought it in the first place, I don't really appreciate that. So they get marked down immediately for trying to upsell too hard. But that said, you know, I'll give it a 6 out of a 10 because the idea of putting potions together, playing the xylophone to open portals, get through to other worlds, it's pretty good. And, you know, rather than it just being a game where horrible possessed knights, you know, come and try and grab your throat or whatever and you have to hack them with swords, it's a bit old hat. I don't really like shooting games or fighting games because it's just kind of boring, you know, a lot of them, and unless there's some unique aspects that they manage to draw out. But you know, it was kind of good. Like, my expectations were that it would be better than it was. I thought that it would, for example, when I made that spell that enabled me to control the mannequin from a distance, like, it was completely unintuitive how to do that. It could just be me being slow on the uptake. Maybe other, particularly younger players would get it straight away, you know. It's been known before. But, you know, they definitely get points for effort to try and add some extra dimensions to the normal games where you just sort of, you know, pick up one weapon or another and hack the humanoid characters around you to pieces. And then the idea that you're wandering through a maze, and then once you get to a higher vantage point, you can see other parts of the maze and start working out how you might gain access to it. That was quite novel in my experience so far as well. So, like I said, 6 out of 10. Waltz of the Wizards is pretty good. It gets points for effort. It's quite beautifully designed. You know, it's got some fairly novel ways of doing unique things in virtual reality, or at least putting together in a unique way various things that I've seen before in VR in a novel way. So, you know, it's okay. You might want to give it a miss. If you particularly love the genre of sorcery and wizardry, then give it a go. So that's all for me from this week. Thanks very much for joining me. Catch you next week. Please like, subscribe, do all that good stuff that no one ever bothers doing. Or just, you know, once in a while someone leaves me a comment, and that always makes my day. So if you've got something to say, talk to me.
Live. Reality is amazing. Live. Much better. Reality is amazing. Live. Much better. Reality is amazing. Live. Much better. Reality is amazing.